for all that.
For 30 minutes, don't touch that dial. Don't interrupt right now. Tell mama fall back, cause another all that coming up right now.
All right, y'all. You here with the Prime Nostalgia Podcast. I'm your boy Leeboy, aka Leeboy TV, and I'm here with my co-host. What's your name, man?
I'm Prime, aka Prime. That's it.
And you know what's awesome? We're actually here on behalf of Afro Comic Con. As you can see, we're at ATL That, aka All That, because we are a bunch of All That cast members. We got a special little segment for you, but I want to start off by saying that, welcome to the panel. This is the All That cast here at the Culture Experience in Atlanta, hosted by the Prime Nostalgia Podcast. It's a virtual 2020 event. We want to thank you all for joining us. Please consider donating to the AFCC Moonshot Junior program that funds young girls of color to go through a 12-month program where they can learn about tech skills, innovation, programming, product development, and entrepreneurship. And then please just click the link to donate. And any amount will help, and we're very thankful for you guys. And we have a great show for you. I mean, we got through all the sponsorships. Thank you, Afro Comic Con, for sending the script. We got through it, and now we're about to get to the real business here with All That cast. So I want to just go ahead and start off by bringing in OG, Miss, you should know her if you know anything about the show. You know this young lady, Miss Angelique Bates. Clap it up for the lady. All right, y'all. Thank you, Angelique. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Now, I want to just start off because we are here talking about All That, and that's what people know us for.
Right.
Just tell us one of your favorite moments that you had on the show.
Oh gosh. You know what? One of my favorite moments, a lot of people would probably think would be on camera. I would say would probably be behind the scenes when Nickelodeon surprised me for my 13th birthday. And I've told this story a lot, but I'm always going to tell it. I'm going to be old and gray telling this story. They had given me a list one day because I was turning 13, and they told me to write down all the things that I wanted for my birthday. And I had like 100 and something items. And one of those things, two of those things was Denzel Washington and Direct.
Hey.
So that's,
you didn't get none of those.
Right. Well, I didn't get Denzel Washington, but that's why they put it in that sketch for where I asked Santa Claus, for Denzel Washington. But I did get Direct. So because Direct was one of the artists that was brought on the show, but I would say that definitely because I love Direct. So it was TLC and Direct. Like those are like my all-time favorite. And I got to already meet TLC because they were doing the theme song. So when Direct came through, I was just on cloud 150.
And she had bars.
Yo!
And you got bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a real big fan of Direct. And it was just so amazing having people like that in hip-hop culture around the show. Yeah. Can you just talk about what it was like just being black and in Hollywood at that time?
Yo, you know what's crazy is that because I was 11, 12 years old, so I wasn't really understanding the whole importance of, obviously you know about the segregation and history, but as far as the Hollywood thing and being black in Hollywood, I wasn't really exposed to that. We were just all kids, but they say that kids don't really see color. Now the parents are probably dealing with it, you know what I'm saying? Right. So it was just like, it's just a whole bunch of us, we're all different nationalities, and we're on this cool show. So we didn't realize what we were doing back then. This was, I think someone just did an interview and they said it was uncommon to have that much diversity on the show. We were the children's version of Living Color.
You saw that same article I read.
Yeah.
That was a good article.
Yeah, that was pretty
shout
good.
Shout out to you. We'll give you a shout out. Brianna, there you go.
Yeah. So, I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like I said, we were just kids. We had no idea we would be icons right now. We had no idea we would be passing the torch off to you guys. You know what I'm saying? So to answer that question is when people be like, what do you think about being legends? When you were on the show, we didn't think anything about it. We had no idea we would be 90s icons. It was like we're in the 90s. You thinking okay, so now the years are passing, but
Yeah.
Somebody recently on your IG you said that they did a whole intro, and they actually did what you guys did. That I think is special because they did the exact recreation. I think it went well.
Yeah, no, and you know, I had a slow moment with that at first because originally the girl who played me, she did a picture, and I was like, oh, that's cool because I've seen so many of them where they're not playing exactly us, they're taking the spots that we did and they're putting their name or something. So I was just like, I think that might have been what I was wearing. I'm not sure. And then someone you tagged me under the video, and I was like, yo, that's my name. Oh, she's me. Like, I thought that was super dope.
And it is dope just seeing, like, people just, you know, they take the culture and just run with it. Obviously, we're here at the Culture Experience Atlanta.
Right.
They've taken the culture and run with it. Y'all need to get up here if you haven't been up here. Shout out to Afro Comic Con. Get y'all butts up here. But so just kind of transitioning to Atlanta, have you been able to, like, recreate that Black Hollywood feeling out here? Or have you seen it? And what can you say about what it's like being out here as far as entertainment?
Well, entertainment-wise, it's definitely different than California. The Black Hollywood out here is nothing like Black Hollywood in California. Like, it's more love out here. Like, I'm keeping it $1.50. Love. It's more love. Like, California, everybody's out for their own. It's just like, come on, man. Like, you know, we all in the same industry. We all, you know, we all have different connections. You know what I'm saying? It's like if we all work together, we could get further, but it's like, oh no, she might get this role, so I'm not going to help her. I'm not going to tell her, oh, she can't meet this person. It's like, it's too much jealousy in Cali. I mean, am I lying?
I talk about it all the time. You know, y'all come and check out the Prime Nostalgia podcast. You know, we have people like Marcus, Paul, RJ Smith, and like those guys are my buddies. But back then, you know, we were in competition.
Right.
Every time I see them, I'm like, oh, you trying to take my role, and I'm trying to take your role. And they won most of the time. That's why I'm up here doing the media stuff. But no, it's for real. It gets rough out there. So I'm just happy to, you know, but it's a lot of love in Atlanta. So I'm happy to see you out here. Your spirits look lifted out here. You look good, girl.
Well, thank you. And you know, you're out here like, especially even health-wise, like there's people are out here doing things natural. This is like somebody might have a water company, and this because they got a well on their acres. You know what I'm saying? Like they like, no, here it's about health. Health is wealth out here. You know what I'm saying? And even industry-wise, like even the Lyft driver be like, oh, you need to go check out this studio. Or I know somebody, go to this hair salon because she knows so-and-so, and then tell them I sent you. Like, that's what happens out here. Kelly is like, So it's like everybody. The mailman gonna try to help you. You know, the mailman knows somebody.
That's love.
Man, just real quick, because I know everybody talked to you about all that and your favorite characters. We talked about recreation earlier. Yeah. Do you have a favorite recreation of like anything of all that you've seen regarding this?
Oh God.
I've seen a lot of Randy and Mandy, faux Randy and Mandys out there. Have you seen these?
No.
Yeah, people. You seen that, right? Yeah, people do that all the time. If y'all haven't seen Randy and Mandy, is that your like biggest sketch? Do you think from the show?
I feel like Randy and Mandy because a lot of people forget. I feel like a lot of people forget about Beth. Because when the movie happened, everyone, you know, they forget that I was originally Beth. I was a love interest, you know what I'm saying, before he married Tyra Banks and all that. but Beth gets forgotten.
Right.
But Randy and Mandy, like, that's always going to be, you know. So I feel like, you know, that was it. That was me and Keenan. That's our thing. And so many people want that recreated. Like, someone just tagged me on Twitter and was just like, yo, I wouldn't. Maybe it was on Instagram, I don't know. But they were like, you know, we wish that Keenan would bring you back on SNL and then do like a Randy and Mandy. But I was just like, the Randy and Mandy would be cool. I don't know if SNL can do it, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a Nickelodeon thing. But nonetheless, a lot of fans have wanted Randy and Mandy back. And I do feel at least one time like the fans deserve that. They've gotten everything else back for the most part.
They even got Leroy and Fuzz back. I brought it back myself. You know,
right,
sometimes you gotta get in there and make it happen.
You know, well, you know, at least you have the Fuzz. I kind of need Keenan for it, so you know what I mean? Just a little bit.
And then, you know, I want to also tell everybody at Afro Comic Con to make sure that they tap in with you as well, because you are deep into the activism, Black Lives Matter, and it comes from a genuine place, I can tell for you. Yeah. Can you just tell the people a little bit about why you're so passionate about it and why they should get behind some of the causes you're behind?
Well, I've been doing it like since I was in California. Like it's like you said, I'm real genuine. I don't just do it like, oh, this is a photo op. Let me go, throw this on. Let me go make a sign real quick and do it real quick and then hop in the car. Because first of all, my family. First of all, just Haiti in general. Okay, well, on my daddy's side, if you know the history of Haiti and what we had to do to fight for our freedom, that's that aspect of it. Now, if you want to talk about my family being raised in the South and going back to my grandfather's family, because my last name is a slave name, actually growing up on the plantation and being slaves. So when you see history repeating itself, because let's keep it $1.50. The 60s and the 70s is just right around the corner. It's not that far back. And history is literally repeating itself. And when you think about what Martin Luther King did and Harriet Tubman and all of them that fought, and then you see what's happening right now in society and people, just even with the whole voting thing, like that's a whole nother show, I'm not gonna get into it, but you have people that died for the voting. And then now you have people that just sit back, I'm not gonna vote because I don't like either one. Yo, there's people who died. Oh, the voting doesn't count. If the voting didn't count, they wouldn't be trying to suppress it like they've been trying to do for years. Like they were killing people back in the day. You feel me? Martin Luther King is dead. Malcolm X is dead. People lost their lives and you just gonna sit here. We are freedom. Women could not even vote. Women. Slaves didn't even have any rights. And it's like we have all these rights, and I feel like because people are watching us on the show, we do have influence. I'd rather be influential about politics, about what's happening in history, because one, I got kids, instead of just going, and nothing against anybody who's out there doing this, but instead of just twerking or doing certain things, I want to influence people to do positive, because just the way I change people's lives, I don't want to be responsible for somebody's downfall.
So just to kind of wrap it up with all that, how has it been representing Black Girl Magic on all that? Because you were in the OG cast and you were a representative, I would say, of our people.
Oh, I said, you got that all
back. So what was it like just being in that person? Because obviously you must have had girls. You must have had girls looking up to you and asking you questions and wanted to be in your position. So what was it like just being that representative?
Now that I'm older and I understand, because like I said, I was a kid and I'm like, oh, this is fun. It's major, because back then it was just, okay, I'm a black kid, a black girl on the show. As I got older, it was like, oh, actually Kel brought it to my attention, because like he gets on me hard, like when people do interviews and he's like, no, you were the first black girl and you did this and you was at left. I'm like, yo, all right, manager. You know what I'm saying? Because I've kind of like, I guess I'm humble about it. I do a lot of things. I've met a lot of people, but unless I say it, you'll never know. So stuff like that, it just went like either over my head or it's just like, oh, all right. Like I kind of like brush up, like, oh, it was nothing. So like, as I started getting older, it was like, yeah, okay, you were the first black girl. It's like, oh, okay, that's dope. Then it was like, as people started realizing that I was mixed with Haitian, they're like, yo, you was the first black Haitian African American Indian. Like they started throwing all my cultures in there. So it was like really like a big deal for everyone else, because then as I got older and the fans were coming back and telling me, there was this like, yo, we didn't have nobody to look up to when we was, growing up, and to see someone that looked like me that represented them, they loved that. And I didn't know that. Like I said, it was just games to us. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, yo, we got this job that's really cool. We're getting to meet the cool people, and our playground is Universal Studios. You know what I'm saying? And we got all these people saying they love us. We getting paid on top of it. You know what I'm saying? And now we have all these kids going crazy. Yeah, he doesn't. We have all these kids just going crazy, loving us. Life seems good. But just to know that we were really saving a lot of lives. Like I had so many fans come back and tell me like, yo, I was dealing with this in my household, or I didn't tell my mama this, or my family doesn't know this, and you were our escape. Like me in particular, like you made us feel like we could do that. And you just never know like how many lives you're touching. And I had no idea. Like I was dealing with, my own life, but to know that I was having such a positive impact on the girls and the guys. Like I had guys hitting me up telling me like, yo, you changed my life. Like just recently, this one guy said, you were the reason why I would smile. And he sent me a picture of him when he was a kid. Around that time, he said that smile was because of you. Like, you know, you just, we want to get all choked up about having a bug tear right now, but you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
You just don't know.
So you see, we really, literally changing the world, all that cast. We are changing and inspiring. That's what Black Girl Magic is about on the All That Casting here at the Culture Experience and on Afro Comic Con. Thank you guys for having us. Thank you, Angelique, for coming and sitting with us.
You already know.
And we got a couple more coming up. We're gonna be right back. All right, Prime Nostalgia Podcast. We back right here with Afro Comic Con, and we ain't playing no games, y'all. I told you we was bringing the cast of all that. That's the name of this segment, the cast of all that at the Culture Experience Atlanta, hosted by the Prime Nostalgia Podcast. So here we are, and we got a special guest right now. We got none other. In fact, let me go ahead and let you do the intro because I know you're a big fan of season 7 through 10 in particular. This is the relaunch. This is the relaunch era is what I call it. Why don't you go ahead and give this intro?
We got a relaunch all-star. I mean, I don't want to say too much because, you know, she done did a lot. I mean, we'll be here all day.
Ooh,
so
don't do that. Don't do that to us.
I'm going to just shorten it down. I'm going to just say we got Giovonnie Samuels here.
Hey.
Just, you know, the Black Girl Magic queen herself.
Ooh, bring her in. Come on in, Gio. This guy, I didn't toss it to Prime. He didn't know what to say.
Honored, like
he was trying to throw it all in there, all that fun.
She did a lot. She did a lot.
You do it all, Gio.
I mean, I do. You know, I be working. I work a little bit.
We work out here. She works.
Just a little bit.
Working, but
What's going on?
just get Gio, just give us your favorite moment on all that. Something that has something to do with you.
Man, I think the first episode of the relaunch that we did was with me and a stunt double. So I had to like.
They be going crazy.
They be going crazy with these stunt doubles. So like I had to dress up look like an old lady, and I had to jump on the table and kind of like do some flips and stuff. And it was a sugar and coffee sketch, but you know it was getting real slippery because that sugar and coffee, when that stuff started congealing and globbing together, it was so dangerous. It was so dangerous on set, and we had to do this in front of a live audience. So I jumped up on the table and I slipped, and I was like, all right, switching the double, because that's it. I'm not trying to die on my first day. Like, I just got here. I want to work some more. Like, please don't kill me on the first day. Right, in front of a live audience.
I ain't Coach Green. That ain't my character.
That's all you kill. Like, hey.
Man, but all that, just you talking about the stunt doubles and just falling, it's just so many good times on all that, so many behind the scenes laughs, obviously in front of the scenes, in the scenes as well.
Yes.
Plenty of laughs, but just talk about like some of your, like how was it like just being on the show, just being around, hanging out? For someone that wish they could be there, because we're here at Afro Comic Con, so people want to know what it's like just being on the set. Well, but all that is a very special set.
All that is an extremely special set. It's so much history, Nickelodeon history at that. You know, when you were on the show, I was watching it, and I was like looking up to you guys, and then when they did the reboot, my seasons, it was like a dream come true. It was like, nope, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna jump around on the trampoline. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get all the slime and gooiness on me. That's all that I wanted. That's all that I wanted to be, and for it to come to fruition and happen and experience it, that was a massive part of my childhood that I will never forget, and I don't take for granted at all, because I know that is a gift. I know that is a responsibility, and I know that is something that, you know, you can't change.
Yeah, you got, and we try to handle the brand with care. We love the All That brand. I would say I had a similar experience where I didn't really care that much about acting. I just wanted to be on All That. So when the audition came up, I was going hard. But can you just talk about like being young, black, and in Hollywood? Because we also had a San Diego to LA transplant that we have in common. So what was it like just being in LA and being an actress, like living out dreams?
Well, I grew up in performing arts schools, elementary, middle school, all the way up until I graduated a year and a half early from my class. That was it. I knew from day one when I saw the TV for the first time, I was like, Mommy, I want to be in the box. So I did any kind of training as possible as I could do. So when the opportunity did come up to have that audition, I was like, cool, we out of here. Like, coming from San Diego, we are moving to LA, this is it. And I had to audition for all that 5 times. It was a long process because they were rebooting it. So they had stopped for you guys for like at least
a year or two.
Nah, I want to say longer than that between our seasons.
Might have been between 2000 and 2004 or something. You guys came back, what, 2005 or 6?
No,
It was maybe a year or two because I didn't. A year or two.
Yeah, so it was a huge deal for it to come back out and to do the auditions to find the other cast members. And they told me on my birthday that I got it, and hey, happy birthday to me. I was ready.
What you got, Brian?
I mean, you talking on the high horse. I kind of want to break you down a little bit.
Ooh.
What?
Let's talk about some on-air dares. Because
he went left with it.
Why?
Because we did an episode. By the way, we did an episode, and we had the relaunch cast. They talked a little bit about on-air dares, but Gene was kind of silent. So,
Well, the on-air dare situation was a tumultuous experience.
Y'all getting exclusive. What happened?
So we were the first to do on-air dares. We were the only cast to do it, and then later seasons they started incorporating other shows to do the on-air dare. So if you guys don't know, on-air dares were little segments that happened in between the Saturday night lineup. Just put us in a torture chamber and see what happens. Like, that's pretty much what it was.
It looked a little bit Fear Factor-ish.
It was very much Fear Factor-ish. I mean, thank God.
With real actors, like, why would you do that to my people?
To kids at that. Like, we were all young. I am still traumatized to this day.
Why are you trying to re-traumatize the lady?
It's all right. It's okay, Brian. You know, I thought we was friends, but it's all good. It's okay. It's okay.
And which explains why you moved all the way out here in Atlanta to put all that behind you, all the on-air dares.
I just went through some therapy. I was trying to, like, refresh and regroup, and then you just want to bring it all back. That's cool. It's cool.
And then just for the crowd, just so y'all know, we went out last night. You was telling me this is like you barely get to go out. So
yeah.
But just tell me what it's been like being in Atlanta and being around, so much different culture, and what it's been like being an entertainer out here. Because I know you still dabble, you still coaching online. She's doing her thing. Follow this girl. She's doing her thing.
I do a lot. I'm still coaching. I just wrapped a movie. I should be starting production on another film soon. I came out here to Atlanta just to, I guess, slow down, because LA, it's on 24/7. Like, it does not stop. And I think I got caught up in the grind of it so much that I didn't really take time to step back and kind of regroup or be myself, or have a family, just be around family and just enjoy. I was always working, and us making that transition from LA to here, besides the fact that Atlanta is extremely cheaper than LA in any time. It's cheaper for me to live here and then to fly back and forth to work and to still continue to work. But the culture wise out here, I like seeing a lot of black people.
We all black, baby.
I like it. It's nice.
I love it too.
It's different.
I love it too. And so just getting on that, before, I guess I have one last question about Black Girl Magic, because we asking all of our panelists today. What was it like representing for Black Girl Magic on the relaunch? Because we got, like we said, we got the OGs, we got the reboot current, but you are a relaunch all-star. So you was representing for the Black girls. It wasn't nobody else, it was just you.
No, I was the token. And the token, and to give it even more Black Girl Magic, I was the third person. There's only been 4 people in Nickelodeon history, all of Nickelodeon, that had locks. And I was the third person to have locks. It was myself, Keaton, one of the moms from Gullah Gullah Island.
I remember that, yeah.
And then there was a young boy that came on after me. but in all of Nickelodeon, we were pretty much the ones that were celebrating our natural hair, being the only black girl on there.
So what you saying? I wasn't celebrating?
I mean, I'm talking about, you know, the who natural, all up there, the kinks and curls and things. No, but like that.
You'll be there one day.
I think the other person was
JJ had braids.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it was, I did feel the responsibility. I did know and understand the responsibility, even down to how hair and makeup was done. You know, me being the only one of color, aside from shout out to Brian Hearn, it did make a difference, and I did respect that responsibility and know that there were people looking up to me, even though this was still fun and games and everything else. I still wanted to respect the cause and do my best to represent you all as best as possible.
And you did that. And I was going to say shout out to half of Ryan too, right? Shout out
well, he didn't come on till later, so that's why I didn't really shout him out in the beginning, you know.
And all that. We're going to talk about you in the French fry comment with them dreads. We're going to get on.
See, everybody else
I'm going to say it for you.
Everybody else that used to call me Mama Gio. So like I was the one that made sure everyone stayed together, did their responsibilities, you know, since I was the oldest cast member, or all the girls were older than guys, but I still had to like crack the whip and make sure everybody did what they're supposed to do.
I think I could attest to that, because like even last night when we went and that situation happened, Gio was like, yeah, nah, we need some napkins right now.
It's Mama Gio, y'all. It's been great. Thank you so much for coming and
of course,
you know, solidifying what we're doing, because you're a big part of what we came for here in Atlanta. So,
yeah.
And you've been a big supporter of the podcast, so thank you for that as well. And yeah, keep getting us together when we out of line. This is what Mamas is for, all right?
You know, get it right, get it tight.
What's up with you, friend?
So you do have a book coming out, right?
Yes.
And I just want to give them a little tease of what we can expect, you know, just to give them a little something.
Yes, I have a book coming out next year, 2021. I haven't set a concrete date, but I do. It is called Child Star Problems, and it talks about growing up in the entertainment industry and making that transition from a child to an adult and everything that happens in between. This is something that people don't talk about. You know, it's like, okay, you're famous, you're a child, and then throw you back into regular society to function and be for yourself. And you know, there's a whole lot that happens behind the scenes in every area of the entertainment industry, not just children, but I think it affects you even more to come out of it or growing up in it and then trying to process, and it's a lot. But get the book, I'll let y'all know. That's what the book's for. You know, that's why I'm doing it, because I wasn't the only one that was affected by it. You know, we've talked, even hearing, talking to Aria Brooks, you know, she reached out to me. She was asking me, I couldn't believe that the same things that was happening to her happened to me and happened to other people that were older than me. The cycle needs to break. So I hope that this book is helpful in every way possible.
That's right. We are changing the world again.
One day at a time.
One day, one all of that cast member at a time. We do this. Well, thank you so much, Gio. Thank you for coming.
Of course.
Thank you to come to Afro Comic Con. Thank you for coming to the Prime Nostalgia Podcast. And yeah, much love, much blessings. All right, and we back. You know, we're gonna keep all that cast members coming, all the ATL shouties. You know, we gotta. I'm a fool. I'm sorry, I gotta do it. This is ATL that, man. I gotta represent for the culture. Look, I opened it up like I had the shirt on. I got the all black on for my guy. But yeah, we are ATL. We represent, and we got a real special guest right now. A young lady from not the relaunch, the reboot. She on right now. Like she out there.
Nickelodeon turned to the ELCO.
She doing her thing. This is Aria Brooks, y'all. Show her some love. What's up, Aria? This is our first time meeting, so thank you for coming on with us.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So first off, just tell the people, I'm gonna start off with the same question I'm going with everyone else. Just give us your favorite moment so far on all that, because you like just barely getting there. You brand new.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about one of your favorite new moments.
Okay, favorite moment. There's so many amazing moments, like being on set and being with all my friends and all the crew members. I think one of my favorite moments was definitely when I first got there, and after the show, anyone who knows me knows I like to eat. So after the show, we all went to go eat. We went to a restaurant together. They welcomed me, and it was just a really great experience to get to know everybody. They got to know me, and it's just, we did that a lot after shows and after live shows, being able to eat together. So one, it was good food, and two, being able to talk with the cast and get to know them and let them get to know me.
What is like your favorite food to eat?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Because you sound like you a foodie, a young foodie.
Okay. I like mac and cheese, and I've been into like when people put like bacon and mac and cheese and stuff. I think that's really, really cool. It's like spice it up a little bit. And then I like all different versions of chicken. So put chicken in pasta, put fried chicken. I don't care. Those are like my two favorite foods of all time.
Okay, I'm gonna show my true colors right now because I got a lot of kids. I eat fast food every once in a while. I'm not endorsing, but have you tried the mac and cheese at Chick-fil-A?
The best mac and cheese ever? Yes, I have.
The best drive-through mac and
so
cheese.
Good. And then they got that little thing at the top, the cheese at the top. They know someone's grandma's back there cooking it. I don't know.
We might have to cut it out because Chick-fil-A is not cutting the check, at least not today. But holla at me, because I'm there for it. What you got for Aria, man? I'm a fool.
Joining the cast of all that, who were you excited to meet? Like whether it's an old cast member or new? Because you kind of came in kind of in the middle of the season. So who were you just excited to meet?
I think one of the people I was most excited to meet was Kenan Thompson, because we're both from Atlanta and we both went to a youth performing ensemble here in Atlanta. Like we both, not at the same time obviously, but when he was younger he went, and then I went later, and I found that out, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's really cool. So I was really excited to meet him. And since he was doing stuff with Saturday Night Live, of course I couldn't meet him. I've never met him in person, but being able to talk to him, he's super funny, he's super nice. So he was probably the person I was most excited to meet. And of course Kel, all the amazing cast members, the black ones, where I was really excited to meet them, because knowing, seeing black people to look up to is great. So yeah.
No, so so just talking about that, because obviously you have something in common with Kenan, growing up out here in the Atlanta entertainment scene. How has it been transitioning over to the quote-unquote official Hollywood scene, and testing out your skills there and seeing where you measure up against your other cast members? How's it been?
I've always, ever at a young age, I've always wanted to perform in California or just be out there and be able to enjoy it. And my first time going, I got to enjoy it as a tourist. But then when I went out for jobs and auditions, that's when I was really indulged in what's really Hollywood and what really happens behind the scenes, not the stuff that they portray it to be on TV. Because it's way different. It's not what you would expect, and it's hard work, and everyone says that. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of hard work, but it's not in the way that you would think. So being out here, it's been a mix of emotions, and since this has been my first year being really indulged in, I was just kind of thrown in the pool. No kind of guidance at first, but I think it was a great first experience, because I think now I'm ready. The older I get, I'm ready to go on other sets, and I'm ready to go work on other jobs, because I know what to expect now.
Ooh, other jobs. See, we ain't just tied down to all that, all right? Just so y'all know, okay? We got other things going. Don't play us.
Other things are in line, yes.
No, but I will say, just seeing you on there, another light face, has been great. I'm glad that they added you on. Just talk about coming on, because it was a middle of the season type thing.
Yeah, it was. They added season 1 for the reboot, but it's season 11, and they went. I feel like they did a bunch of episodes, and then they added more episodes, and they also added me in addition to the episodes. And so I've done I want to say at least 20 episodes, probably more than that. And so we're continuing season 11 right now, and it's been being added and being able to meet people who are already in it. I think, honestly, on my part, I think that was very helpful, because they already kind of figured out the ropes and kind of paved the way and created this path. Now I can just kind of walk down the path and learn what they already learned.
That's right.
And I think it was very helpful. Yes, I learned from them. They were very helpful, so I think it's been pretty great, joining when I joined.
Awesome. That's good to hear. What you got, Prim?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask her about the cast members. Offset, who kind of helped you a lot, like obviously cast members or even the producers or anything?
Well, I feel like I have like a relationship with like everybody, and like I know the cameraman. We joke around with the cameraman, and then our ADs, like or assistant directors, we have like a relationship with everyone, even though we can't see a lot of people all the time. I think it's really great. So a lot of them have helped me in different ways. The cast members, they kind of help me maneuver, like when we're off set, a lot of times there may be like a red carpet or something that we have to do. They help me with those, and like sometimes I feel like we were at Universal City Walk one time in California, just kind of chilling, and a bunch of people came up to us. They were like, "Are you guys doing all that?" And they kind of gave me advice, like, when you meet fans, you should say this, you shouldn't say this. So they've been very helpful with how to maneuver when we're not acting, when we're not on set, because that part I kind of picked up, sort of, because even they were still learning a lot of things. So I was kind of thrown in and learning with them, because there was still stuff to learn. So all the cast members have been the most helpful on that side of things.
Yeah, very important to learn offset things as well.
Yes.
What you should be doing offset as well as on set. Obviously, everyone knows that we're talented, and that's only half the story. It's behind the scenes, there's a lot of dedication, a lot of parents helping us out, people that got our backs. And one thing I did notice, and I really liked about your platform, is you do use it responsibly to talk to young people your age. I've seen that you're advocate for voting. Just talk a little bit about your background and what gives you that strength to get out there and talk about some of the issues that young people maybe would shy away from.
Yeah, well, growing up, of course, I've known I'm Black, but I've kind of hidden from it like early on in my life, and I didn't really like my hair, I didn't really like my skin, because I didn't really like watching TV. I knew all along I wanted to grow up and be on Nickelodeon and be this big actor. That was kind of my dream when I was younger. But when I would turn on the TV, I'd see all these girls who looked nothing like me. And I'd be like, okay, so maybe that's not what I'm looking for, but I don't know, how am I supposed to, I was just confused, because I didn't know, I was confused. And then the older I got, I realized, and I started to see more role models that looked like me, and that helped a lot. I was kind of like, oh, so that's their fault, not mine. Okay, so I'm gonna just be myself, I'm gonna wear my hair, I'm gonna love my dark skin, and moving forward, that confidence built up, and I'm still not 100% where I'd like to be. I want to continue to gain my confidence, and I want to continue to grow into my own image of myself, but that helped. So now I'm like, okay, so now let's help another girl or another boy who's going through the same thing that I was going through. So now I speak about it. I speak about being comfortable in your own skin, whether you're Black, Hispanic, Asian, whatever you are, you need to be comfortable in your own skin, because God made you the way that you are for a reason. And also, as far as like voting and Black history, things like that, I'm a proud advocate for that, because it's kind of in the same territory. You're comfortable with yourself, but now we have to be comfortable with who we are, to where we can speak about it and like use our voices, because our voices count, which is why everyone needs to be out voting. Because as Angelique talked about it, but people died so that we could vote. And even if you don't vote for yourself, which you should vote to create the change you want to see, but vote for the millions of kids like me who can't vote and want to, and who want to use their platform, want to use their voice, and I can't get out and vote, so vote for someone like me.
That's an amazing answer, and I'm clapping in my head. I was like, damn, girl did that. Mama back there clapping. You raised her right. You did good, girl. But so I guess you kind of a little bit answered my final question. So you don't have to go too far into depth. But I just want to ask you, like, what does it mean to represent for Black Girl Magic on the brand new reboot? Obviously, you're the only young lady with our complete hue, skin tone. There's some other ethnics out there, so shout out to all of them. Shout out to actually everyone on the cast. We don't want to make it an all Black thing, but we represent for our people. It's ATL, shawty. So, so what's it like just being Black Girl Magic on the show?
Well, representing Black Girl Magic, of course, what I said before, I always looked up to little Black girls, and I'd see them on TV, and I'd be like, okay, she looks like me, and it was great looking up and being able to watch TV and see that. So I want to be that example for someone else. I want to continue to inspire people and show them you're not alone, you can do this. I think it's very reassuring when you can turn on your TV and see someone who looks like you, because I went through that all my life. So that's a big part of why I do what I do, not only because I love it, but because I can inspire other people to know that they can do it too.
There we go, changing the world again. All that cast member at a time. Well, thank you so much, Aria. It was so great, and because of you, little girls are gonna have something to look up to, and you're gonna see more and more of us on television because we're gonna be in these positions where we're writing, producing, doing the behind-the-scenes work like we're doing right here in Atlanta. Got all my people with us. It's all independent, and so if they ain't gonna do it for us, we're gonna do it on our own.
Yes.
We're gonna come on my set. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I actually got one follow-up.
Oh wait, we got one more. Give us some, Prime.
Extra bonus question, because you weren't alive, and I know you weren't, but 1992, Nickelodeon did a time capsule, and they gonna open it later. As you are a young person, what do you think is in the time capsule? Like 3 things you think is in that time capsule.
And are you aware of this time capsule? Have you heard of this?
I have not.
It's just a bunch of stuff they threw in that was on the Universal Studio set, right?
Just stuff
or whatever they wanted. Whenever they wanted, yeah.
Okay, I think 3 things. I think there may be something slime related. So even if it's not actual slime, something slime oriented. I think maybe, there could be like a prop from a show back in the 90s. So like a show, I don't know what the prop would be. Who knows, there's so many props. So a prop, and then...
Earboy's ear or something.
Or like a random, I don't know, something in the back that you didn't even see, but then you go back and watch it like, oh, that's the thing. Yeah. And then maybe even a costume too. I think a costume could be in there. Like you never know. The Good Burger wig, like it could be anything.
You never know. We'll see when. When are they going to open up this capsule?
42.
42. So we got some years. Hopefully we're going to be around, right? We're still doing the Prime Nostalgia podcast. No. All right, Afro Comic Con. Thank y'all. Thank you, Miss Aria.
Thank you.
Hey y'all, thank you for participating in this panel on Afro Comic Con. As you can see, this is the All That cast. We're at the Culture Experience Atlanta, hosted by the Prime Nostalgia Podcast. We got our shirts from my guy Prolific as, I ain't gonna say his name, but it's my guy Prolific. I got t-shirts for the cast, so thank you, sir, from Philly. Hey. Much love on that. Prime, you did one too. We'll check out the sizes later. There you go. And then I want to thank my guy, B Jolly behind the camera from Mobile Productions. I also want to thank my guy, Dan Farrow. He's about to come in with something crazy that y'all ain't never seen. This is Third Eye Customs. He coming in with the All That exclusives. Okay. That's how ATL do it, y'all. Okay, we out here. And most of all, I want to thank Afro Comic Con for actually putting this on and allowing the Prime Nostalgia Podcast to host y'all. And I gotta say one thing, because they want to make sure that y'all gonna go and donate to the AFC/Moonshot Junior program that funds young girls of color to go through a 12-month program where they can learn tech skills, programming, and get their lives right. So we out here changing the world, one All That cast member at a time. I'm Leeboy TV. This is the Prime Nostalgia Podcast, Afro Comic Con. Peace. Give him something, Prime. I'm gonna talk too much.
Well, since he dropped the mic, just real quick, I want them to come up here and just say the ads, but you gotta so many places to find them at.
Okay.
So, I mean, y'all can use all 3 mics.
Okay.
Step up. This is impromptu interviews out here. I'm
We don't gotta do that.
Okay. You want to start, Angelique?
Okay, no. My Instagram is Angelique Bates.
All my social media is at It's Aria Brooks.
And all of my social media is at only one Giovonnie, Giovonnie.
Well, all my social medias, I only said one, but it's all of them. You know what I'm saying? They may not be verified because, one of my pages got hacked, but that's me, and I might talk to you back, only if you don't spam me. I'm just saying.
Listen up.
That part.
And that was all that.
Bye, everyone.
Come back, Lee!
Peace. Much love.